Areas and city pages is an important one. And it is because everybody wants everything. And we understand that you do. I don't mind doing city pages for people, but I think somebody needs to be careful about it when they're thinking about how they're going to structure it. I know for sure that Google wants to see where you're located and that sync in with content. And they're moving more towards it all the time. The less populated the markets are around you, the more likely your city pages where you're not located will show up. And so let's talk about this. I'm going to explain this one just a tad bit more than usual so you can understand it. If you're in a market of, let's say, 100,000 people, and you're located there, and it's the biggest market around you, that's great. That's where you want to be. And so your address is there, and all your content talks about it, and it all syncs up with the schema code and where your address listing is, the contact us, and Google My Business. You get verified there. They know you're located, and all the content works really well with the address, okay? And everything's perfect. And then we can do some city pages around you and say do 10, 20, 30 city pages. Now here's the difference. Your entire business and all the service categories are going to have to be written for one city, the one you're in. They can't really go out and stuff in all the other ones. It's called keyword stuffing, and they would ban your website under the Panda algorithm. And so you can't just shove all the cities into every little service you have. So your primary is going to be about that city anyway. Now we can expand and do one page per all these 30 cities you got around you that you service as well. We can also tell Google in the Google map, hey, they service this whole area. And so, but it's going to be one page, not 30 pages like the website, or 40 or 50 or 70 pages, however much content we have about your services. And so you can have one page, and if it's little cities of 3,000 people, 15,000 people, 10,000 people, they'll be more likely to show up. Why? Because there's not a lot of businesses to choose from in that city. And Google say, okay, well, we'd really rather have a whole website from a guy located here and the businesses in this city, but since we don't have many, this is a nice strong website adjacent, we'll put you up. But if the next adjacent town is 200,000 people, well, there's a lot of businesses there to choose from, and why would they show your little city page? So you're very unlikely to. And every once in a while people say, Nolan, I know a guy that shows up for all these things. And I say, hey, I know, but that guy's been there for like 10 years doing this. The trend of Google too is to begin to remove these with more relevant data, which is that guy located in that town. And that's why the small towns work better. So we don't mind doing it for you at all. I'm just telling you what they think about them. And here's the other issue. So you're in a town of 10,000. You're next to the town of 100,000. What do you do? So we can work on it with you as time goes on, but it's better to have your location in that town of 100,000. That's the best case scenario. If you can't do that, and if you call up here, we'll give you all the options that are legitimate options that you can do. So where do you put your map? If you've got a bigger town, how do you handle it? And we can help you with some legitimate options on how to do that. And it depends on whether it's one location or two or how that goes. Another way to look at this too is if one location gets dominant, we're getting reviews, we've got everything going, and you want another location, you can do it by another legitimate location. And that might be better than having what Google called at one time like a doorway page, these city pages. They're losing their ranking because they're not as relevant to search. Google wants the best search for the user. And even though you do service all 30 cities, well, there's other guys in those other cities. And so you're less relevant to search to them because of that. And as you move away from where you're located, you're less likely to show up. The good news is this, there's so many things we can optimize you for. We'll still do city pages. We do them better than anybody else. I'm just telling you what's going on with them right now through the algorithm, through Google. But if you get dominant in your market, then you can show up on maps and organic keywords and tons of map placement and reviews. We can work on another location that's legitimate. We can do the city pages, and we make sure we place your business in the proper location to get the optimum amount of reach, the optimum amount of clicks, so that when you do get high rankings that will get you, that you show up to as many people as possible. I'm real serious about this. We'll help you with it when you call up here. Our staff is all trained on all this. We go within the liking of Google. I don't think city pages are against their algorithm. They're not going to cause a penalty. And if you have it small enough, it's relevant data. But if there's a bunch of other people located there, businesses that can service them, they're just not going to like it as much. As they've been there longer and developed domain authority, they have some more. My hunch on this long term is they're not going to want these. Why would they want all these little city pages? But I tell you what, we can help you get the most bang, the best results, and we're smart about it. I'm not going to put you in a town of 3,000 and just say, hey, do this. And then when you call me up, say, hey, you're number one. Well, of course you're number one. There's only 3 businesses in that town. You went with us, but there weren't enough people to call you. We'll place you in a situation to where you get the most return for your money and get the most results. And so I know a lot of you want it. We're going to get you the best results and keep you safe with the algorithm and make sure you're happy. Give us a call. We'll figure it out. Every client's a little bit different.